Mitadru Datta from IITkgp, back here in my fourth video on machine learning, and today we are going to talk about more about the pandas library, and I will also provide you some of my notes, and from the next video we will be starting with the mathematics associated with machine learning. So here I am in my PowerPoint mode, so let's get started quickly. So first is the index function. We'll see what we did in the previous video, like import pandas as pd, and there was a file object which we referenced pd dot read underscore csv. Here is the path of the file, and we did header equals to none, and we also did x dot columns. We set the column header names as sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the fifth column is the type of flower. I told you about the iris dataset, what is it and why we actually use it in my previous video. And here is an additional information, like index of I is used to access the ith row and not the row whose row number is I. Like if I am doing print x dot index of 0, then uh, it will access the 0th row, like whose index number is 0. Like it will access the first row, it won't access if there is a fifth row whose index number is 0. Suppose we set it like that, the fifth row's index number is 0, don't think that that will be selected. It will the first row which will be selected, whatever be the row number. So here we understand what is basically the difference between the lock and the ilock function. To get the ith row from the starting, we use ilock, like x dot ilock of 0, which will fetch us this first row, even though the row number is C2, but 0 will fetch us this one. You can see the direction of arrow. And similarly, to access the ith label row, we use lock. We'll x dot lock of 6. If we write 6, then don't think the sixth row, it will be the row whose name is 6. So that is the difference between the lock and the ilock function. We can use it as per our convenience during data handling. So some more function. To add a row into a data frame, we can use x dot lock of 0. Like if this is the row number we are setting, and this is the values of first, second, third, fourth. I told you almost all the SQL like function you can perform using this library. And so we can say add a new row. The entry will be added to the end if after this we write this command of x dot tail. And then next is deleting column, is similar to deleting rows. We use the drop function to delete the whole column with an extra argument axis equal to 1. By default the value of axis is 0, that means rows will be deleted by default. Now axis equal to 0 means rows, x axis basically. Axis equal to 1 means columns, which is the y axis basically. So x dot drop, if we are mentioning nothing as the axis, we saw in our last video that SL and in place equals to true will delete the row, but if we want to delete the column which has SL, then we will be using axis equals to 1 argument, or by default the default value of axis is 0, as we saw this in our previous video. So the reset index function, to reset the indices, reset index function is used. So you see we saw that we deleted the first row, and then we deleted some specific rows using drop function in our previous video. So we got this data set. Now this data set does not contain the index which we desire. It is not numbered in a ascending or descending, like it is not numbered one after the other. So we use the reset index function. So if you see, if I do if I write this portion of the code, it will give the output of this, that is the index are still not gone. You will see that what we wanted is exactly not yet we achieved. To not add the previous index values in the data frame, drop equals to true argument is passed in the reset index function. So if we use x dot reset index, drop equals to true, in place equals to true, we saw why we use in place equals to true in our previous video, and drop equals to true. If we also do this, then our output will not contain this column of index, and now hence our output will contain the stuff which we actually desired for. Now adding new columns with specific values, we can very very easily do that. Like data frame of column name equals to value to be added, just this. Like we want to add another column whose value will be petal length minus petal width, x of petal length minus x of petal width. So you see we have easily done that, and using very easy coding. So it is not at all difficult. All this, you need not connect Python with SQL to perform all the SQL like functions. You can just directly use the pandas library, and this is very important part of machine learning. As you will study it, you will be understanding this. So now we need to handle the NaN values. I told you about NaN values, which are the null values. First we will add some NaN values in our iris dataset using the constant from NumPy library. So first we import pandas as PD and NumPy also. Then x equal to PD read underscore CSV path of the file. We all saw this, header equals to none. Then we select iloc. We select the rows in this way, part of the call table basically, and we set as np.nan. So we see that whichever portion we have selected as rows and columns, those portion get labeled as null values. So we can easily do this in any data set. Now the drop now function is used to drop the rows which have nan entries. So x dot drop now in place equals to true if we do this, and then we reset the indices. We see that it drop 9 would just dismantle our indices values. So we reset the indices, drop equals to 2, in place equals to true. We saw that what is actually mean, what this actually means. We have already seen this. So you saw that in the last slide there were 4 null values, but those rows have been deleted and the index numbers have been again named, and in place drop equals to true means the extra index column has also been deleted all at once. So handling the nan values, again to fill the nan entries we use the fillNA function, the x.sw.fillNA and x.sw.mean in place equals to true. If we write this, we can see that there were 2 null values in the sepal width. In the sepal width column there were 2 null values. All those null values are replaced by the mean of the thing. Now don't calculate the mean as only these 5 rows. Actually I told you the iris dataset contains 150 rows. Due to lack of space I am not able to write the entire output here, but this is the mean value of the entire 150 rows of sepal width, and these are the rows as it is. These are not the mean values. The first and the second rows are not the mean values, and the third and the fourth are the mean values, and again the fifth row is not the mean values, because if you notice our previous slide, the NaN, the null values, was only in the row number 2 and 3 or the third and the fourth row. So we are almost now done with the necessary Python background required for machine learning. Note that there will be more functions and modules about which we will learn as we progress by. I highly recommend you to practice more stuffs about Python from the selfstathub.com website, as I explained you in my video introduction to machine learning. Now as of now I will would be sharing some of my handwritten notes about more stuffs of Python data handling. You can take the screenshot and go through them in your free time. As I told you already earlier also, that I would be creating one website which will contain the slides, video wise slides, and all the notes, these notes also. So as of now you can just take the screenshot of the notes and you can go through them in your free time. So this is the first page, second page, third page. You can see very useful stuffs I have also given here. Print dr.math, it shows all the functions which are there in the math module. So suppose you are new to a module and you don't know anything about that module, you can just do print dr math. It will show all the functions which are there in the module. Suppose you now don't know one of this function but you want to use it, you can write help math.ceil. Suppose you don't know what ceil in math means, you can just write that and it will actually tell you how it is working with example. It will show in Python. So very useful stuffs these are. You must definitely go through this in your free time. So this is the page number 5. Some more stuffs about pandas there are here. Page number, this is the fifth page, and this is the 6th page and last. So yeah, that's all from this video.
Hope you learned something new, and we are done with the Python background. Next video will be on the mathematics on machine learning, and from the next to next video we will start directly with the core aspects of machine learning. Thank you.